here. Today's tutorial, we're going to learn how to do the chevron using the back loop only. This works up really beautifully. You can see here, try to show you, each layer looks like it overlaps the one before, and the back side of it does this as well. Plus you see a lot of the ridges here. This particular project I did for my daughter. I asked her what her favorite color was, and she sent me a picture of the ocean, and this is what we came up with. All right, let's get started. All right, so for today's project, what you're going to need is whatever yarn you're going to be using, and I'm using the Bernat blanket. This is one of the bright colors. Turn out so vibrant and so pretty when you work with these. You're going to need a pair of scissors, your yarn needle, and the size hook that is required with the yarn or the gauge that you need to obtain. So for this yarn, we're going to be using the 8mm. As you can see, the ridges that it creates, I showed you in the bigger piece. This turns out so pretty. And then you've got ridges here on the back side. So either way that you look at the work, it's going to be pretty. And you don't have to use just the back loop of the stitch. You can go through the full loop. That's not going to give you the look here that we obtained by using that back loop, and those are your ridges. All right, so let's get started. So this project is made up of the double crochet stitched in the back loop only. So you're going to yarn over, insert your hook in that back loop, draw through a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, insert in the back loop, draw up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Let's do a couple of more. So you're going to yarn over, insert in that back loop, draw up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. So go ahead and practice the double crochet using that back loop, and we'll get started on the project. I'm going to go ahead and just use the blue. I think that would be easy to see on the table here. So unwind enough yarn. Several ways you can tie a slip knot. Just do what's comfortable for you. So for this pattern, we're going to work in multiples of 12. And that's, if you look here, each area, the up and the down, that's going to be your 12 stitches. So then you've got 12 here. So I'm going to do 24 today for the sample, but you do as many as you need. And when you're stretching out your foundation chain, keep in mind that that's going to curve. So if you've got 45 inches in a foundation chain, it's going to be much shorter once we start the decrease and the increase in the work. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and chain 24. Okay, so I have my 24, and just make sure when you're creating your foundation chain, again, remember we're going to be creating the rise and the fall, so you can see how long I start, and then once you set up your example here, how much shorter it gets once the work is done. So I've got my 24, that's 2 sets of 12. So I need to do an additional 3 that's going to be our turning chain. So there's 1, 2, 3. All right, so the first thing we're gonna do is in the 4th stitch from your hook, you don't count the loop that's on your hook. We're gonna go 1, 2, 3, and 4. And we're gonna do a double crochet. So yarn over and pull through 2, and yarn over, pull through 2. So these 2 are the beginning of an increase. And once we get into the piece, you'll start understanding that a little bit better. We're gonna see just the 2 here, which are part of your increase. So then we're gonna do a double crochet in the next 3. Let's yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. That's 1. 2. 3. Okay, so the next thing we're gonna do, so this is where we're at here. We've got our starting 2, which is the half of an increase basically. And then we've got 3 doubles. So now we're gonna create a decrease. And what we do there is we're doing 2 double crochets together and then 2 double crochets together. So you're going to insert your hook, yarn over, we're gonna pull through 2, and we're gonna stop there. We're gonna yarn over, and then we're gonna insert into the next chain. We're gonna pull, yarn over, pull through, and then yarn over, pull through the first 2, and then we're gonna yarn over and pull through the remaining 3. So if you look at this stitch, we've got the 2 double crochets, but they're together. So that's causing a decrease, which is going to bring us into this valley here. So then we're going to do 1 more. So that's yarn over, insert it into the chain, yarn over, pull through 2, stop there, yarn over, insert it into the next chain, yarn over, pull through 2, and then yarn over, pull through the remaining 3. So there's our 2 decrease where we've taken 4 chains and we've cut them down into 2. So the next thing we're going to do is 3 more double crochets, or a double crochet in the next 3 chains, not 3 double crochets. So there's 1, 2, and 3. All right, so you can already see the start of our pattern here where we've done the decrease. And now we want to do an increase. And what we're going to do there is in the next chain, we're going to do 2 double crochet. There's 1. Now in that same chain, we're going to go back through there and we're going to do another double crochet. And we're going to do that a second time. So in the next chain, we're going to do 2 double crochet. That's 1. Now we're going to go back through that same chain and do another double crochet. Okay. So we've got our decrease, we've got our increase, and as you can see, there's 2 double crochet in each of those 2 chains. So we've taken 2 and we've made 4 out of it. And that's why it's called an increase. And then where we cut 4 down to 2, that's called your decrease. And that's what gives us the valley and the peak. All right, so the next is we're basically going to follow what we've done here. We're going to do 3 more double crochet, the next 3 chains. It's 1, 2, and 3. Okay, so now we're ready to do another decrease, and that is 2 double crochets together and then 2 double crochets together. So you're going to insert your hook, yarn over, and we're just going to pull through 2 and stop. Insert into the next chain, yarn over, pull through 2. We're going to yarn over and pull through 3. So there's our first double crochet decrease. We're going to do that again. So let's insert into the next chain, yarn over, pull through 2 and stop, and insert into the next chain again, yarn over, pull through 2, and yarn over, pull through 3. So we've got our next decrease, then we're going to work our way back to an increase, but since my swatch is stopping, you would continue on for the increase, decrease, increase, decrease until you get to the end. And once you get there, you're going to have 4 chains left. So we've got 1, 2, 3, and 4. So what we're going to do is we're going to do our 3 double crochet, and then just as we did at the beginning here, we've got 2 double crochet that are essentially in the same chain. So that's how we're going to finish up this row. Going to do a double crochet in the next 3. It's 1, 2, and 3. And then we're going to put 2 double crochet in this last chain in the row. There's 1 and 2. As I mentioned in the beginning, when we first started the row here, where we've got the 2, that you would start seeing what that meant as far as it being an increase. And this is how the chevron is going to look. Typically, with a chevron pattern, you do 2 rows of each color. But as you saw in my sample in the intro to this video, I kind of just built my own pattern because I was going off of an inspiration photo. So there's no right or wrong when you're creating a piece of work. And as you see here on this blanket, they've just done solid colors in these big sections. You can do it like that. You can do the 2, 2, and 2, whatever colors you want. If you just want to build one solid color on your entire project, that's fine as well. Typically the variegated colors, the ones that are mixed, they tend to be a little bit softer with this Bernat blanket yarn because it can be a little bit thick as you're working through your project. So sometimes I do like to blend some of the mixed colors in between these solid colors. Okay, so we're back at the end of the row, and now what we're going to do is chain 3. It's 1, 2, 3, and we're going to turn our work, get some more yarn here. And as we did with the last two, we're going to have 2 double crochet in the same chain. So here's 1, your 3 chains count as 1. So we're going to go into that first stitch there. Now if you were doing the full stitch, then you would go through the 2 loops. So this is what it would look like on your hook. You're going to have the 2 loops. But in this project, we're just going through that back loop. So you've got your front, get my needle here to show you. You've got your front part of the loop and you've got your back part of the loop. So we're just going to yarn over and we're going to insert our hook through that back loop. We're going to pull through, draw up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. So there's our 2 that we started with down here. So next we're going to have those 3 double crochet. So we're going to do a double crochet into the next 3 chains. Remember to grab that back loop only. That's 1. 2. And 3. So now we're down into our valley, which is where we've done the decrease in the previous row. So we're just going to follow that again. So we're going to do 2 double crochet together and 2 double crochet together. And we're going to stay in that back loop throughout the whole project. And just make sure you remember that, because if you start noticing that you've gone into the whole chain, you're going to want to pull that work out, because what you're going to miss out on are these ridges that we see here, and then you'll see spots throughout your work where there is no ridge. So you just want to make sure to grab that back loop throughout the whole project, and if you notice that you've gone awry, just go ahead and pull that out and do it again. And I'm talking and I didn't do my 2 double together. So we've got our 3 double, going to pull through 2 and stop, yarn over, insert into the next back loop of the next chain, pull through 2, and then we're going to pull through the remaining 3. So there's 1 decrease. Yarn over, insert into that back loop of your next chain, pull through 2 and stop, yarn over, insert into that back loop, pull through 2, and then pull through the remaining 3. So there's our 2 decrease. You can start seeing the ridge already here as we're working across the row. So now we've got 3 double crochet, so that's 1 in the next 3 chains. And in that back loop, pull through 2, pull through 2, so there's 1. Yarn over, pull through 2, pull through 2, that's 2. And then the third one, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. So now we're back at our next increase, which again, we're going to do 2 in 1 chain and 2 in 1 chain. This whole pattern is nothing but double crochet. It's just working the increase and the decrease to create your chevron effect. So we're going to grab that back loop. We're going to do 2 double crochet in there. So there's 1. Insert to the same loop, same chain. Okay, so we've got our 2 double crochet, and we're going to do that one more time. Insert into that back loop, pull through 2, pull through 2, and we're going to do a second double. Pull through 2, pull through 2. Okay, now we've got the 3 double in the next 3 chains. It's 1, 2. And 3. Now we're back to our decrease. I'm going to insert into that back loop, pull through 2 and stop. Insert into the next chain, insert, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, and pull through the remaining 3. That's our first decrease. And one more, back loop, yarn over, pull through 2 and stop, yarn over, insert, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 3. So there's our last decrease. And now I'm back to those 4 chains that I had, and that's going to be 5 doubles in those 4. So we're going to have 1, 2, 3, and then 2 in the top of that turning chain. There's 1. 2. 3, and then we're going to do 2 in this last one. Sometimes when I'm doing this back loop only, it depends on the style of work that I'm doing. I might go through that whole chain at the end just to make a solid edge, but when you do that, you do lose that ridge on that last 2 double crochet, and that will be noticeable. So if you want that ridge to go all the way to the edge, you want to make sure to just grab this back loop on your last 2 double crochet. That's 1 and 2. 2 if I'd stay in there. Okay. All right, so we've finished our second row. So I'm going to show you how to pull in another color. Everyone has their quirky way of doing it. You can watch multiple videos on different ways, but I'm just going to show you how I do it. And you know, once you become more familiar with crochet, you'll kind of figure out what works best for you. Put my new color around the hook, and I draw it through that loop that's on my hook. So this is actually replacing this. So what I'm going to do is just pull down on it. So I've just replaced the loop that I already had. To continue on with the blue color, this is what it would have looked like anyway, but now I have my new color. So that's just the easier way for me. But again, you're going to find your way of doing it and what works best for you. So we're going to chain 3 and turn our work. Put our little tail over here. And I'm not going to trim off the blue because I don't want to waste my yarn, but leave that there. All right, so just as we did in this previous row, we're going to have 2 double crochet in the same chain, but again, we're still working in that back loop. So yarn over, insert into the back loop, and do a double crochet. Yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. We're going to do 3 double crochet, 1 in the next 3 chains. And 3. Okay, now we're ready for our decrease again. So here we established the pattern in the previous 2 rows, and the more you get, as you can see, the chevron is really defined once the piece starts working up larger, taller. Okay, do a decrease. We're going to do 2 double crochets together. So insert in that back loop, yarn over, pull through 2 and stop, yarn over, insert into the next chain back loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over and pull through the remaining 3. I'm going to do that again. Yarn over, insert in that back loop, stop, yarn over, insert into the next back loop chain, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over and pull through 3. Okay, so that's how you pull in another color. And like I said, I would normally just trim this off so this yarn was not in my way, but I don't want to waste the yarn because I am working on a different project using this blue, so I want to make sure to keep as much as I possibly can. So this is the chevron pattern using that back loop, and again we're creating the ridges, these beautiful lines. I do want to show you, if you were doing the chevron just through the entire stitch, rather than pulling that back loop, you would just go through that full stitch where you're going to have 2 on the hook. And you can see the difference of going through that back loop only, where the other is going to pull down into that entire stitch from the previous row. Show you that again just so you see a couple of what it looks like not using that back loop. But again, I mentioned before that you want to stay consistent. If you're using the full stitch, use the full stitch in the whole piece. If you're using just the back loop, make sure to pick up that back loop. If you start seeing that you've dropped that ridge, you definitely want to go back and pull that out and do it again, because you can see a complete difference of one versus the other. Okay, well, I hope you enjoyed today's video, and please hit that subscribe button and click the notification bell so you can receive alerts when I post additional videos. Thanks for watching and have a great day. Happy yarning.